I never got to meet my great-grandfather, Frank Rush. In fact, no one I know in the family did, since Frank died in 1934. I do know he was a commercial baker, and he left behind a few artifacts, including his handwritten cookbook. I'm boiling down and making Frank's recipes as a tribute to him and to other family members that we'll never get to meet. I'm Tom Mattingly, and this is Baking with Frank. Hello and welcome to Baking with Frank. So, we are doing a multiple day project here. So, we're getting started early. We've got the Black Sheep Coffee shirt on. So, we're making fruitcake. Now, I hear you, I see your face. I've actually come to there's a strange tapping in my house. Like is probably a strong word, but appreciate fruitcake. So we're going to do this a little different. Stay with me. So what I don't like about fruitcake, I've come to learn, is really the citrus in it. And not that I have anything against citrus, I like it just fine. It's more the concentrated flavor of the citrus that comes from the dried citrus that goes in there. So we're going to do this one a little differently and do it with some different dried fruits and a little alcohol and see where we get. We're going to use Frank's white fruitcake recipe. He has 3 of those. He also has at least 2 dark fruitcake recipes. We'll probably do one of those a little bit later. But I've done this in September, well, not in the past few years, but for a while did it quite frequently. My dear friend Kelly and I would make them together and feed them until the Christmas season. So we're probably also not going to taste this one right out of the gate. We might, we'll see. But rather than that, we will feed it with brandy or bourbon or whatever we choose to feed it with up until the holidays. So stay with me on this. We're going to start measuring some stuff out. So here in the hopper, we have 4 ounces of dried cherries chopped and 4 ounces of dried cranberries, 4 ounces of dried blueberries, 4 ounces of dried apricots chopped, 2 ounces of chopped pecans, and 4 ounces of roughly chopped almonds. So what we got is essentially 1.5 pounds of fruit and nuts. Now, never mind, I'm not going to go there. We're going to rehydrate some of these fellas, and we're going to do that, at least out of the gate, with a cup of pear brandy. Now, I realize that many of you will not have pear brandy. I wouldn't if it weren't for a gift from dear friends. But you can use whatever you have on hand. If you are not a drinker, it can be cider or something along that line. But much to our mantra here at Baking with Frank, use what you got. That's looking pretty good. I'm gonna give it a quick just turn around here with my favorite wooden spoon, which still has the burn on it. We'll talk about that later. And we're going to let this sit for at least a full day, just to rehydrate those fruits. No need to refrigerate this because they're starting off as dried fruits and then they're getting soaked in alcohol, so they should be doing just fine all on their own. I'm not sure I want to use the word pickled, but I just did. So, we will come back to these little gentlemen and make a cake. All right, so we're back here on day 2. Here is the fruit and nut mix that has all soaked up and smells insane. So good. So I have taken the liberty of creaming together 6 ounces of sugar with a 1/4 pound 1 stick of butter. So that's in there. And this is 4 egg whites. We're going to call them whites. Don't look at that other part. Going in there. We're going to give that a little spin. And this is intended to be kind of a heavy cake, right? We all know this about fruitcakes. So we're gonna give that a spin and come back. All right, so you're gonna add into that 1 tablespoon, yes, 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Go. And here I have 6 ounces of flour, to which I've added, it is actually breaks down to 1/8 of an ounce. Now, even this little scale doesn't go down to 1/8 of an ounce. So we're just doing 1/8 of a teaspoon and calling it good. But we're going to mix those together, get these guys going, and we're good. So on top of the flour, I've added 1/4 ounce of cloves, ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon. So all of that, and you can see the ginger got a little crazy there. All of that going in. So we're going to give that a stir. Okay, and we are going to put all this fruit in there. And remember, we did not do the traditional mix because I don't care for the citron. And Frank's just going to get used to that. But instead, we've got fruits that are a little less offensive to me. All soaked in that yummy smelling pear bread. So, in that goes. Run that around for a minute. Okay, so we are preheating the oven to 350 degrees. Looks like it's there, 350. And I got this in an auction about 100 years ago. And I think this might be the first time I've used it, but I used my baking spray and just moving it around there to make sure it goes in every little nook and cranny. We're going to fill this thing up. Now, because there's not much of the baking powder in here, it's not going to rise that much, so I'm not too worried about that. And it's also very heavy, but it smells like Christmas up in here right now. There's probably also going to be a little more than this pan can handle of the batter. I'm okay with that because I'll just put it in another little something, and then we got, you know, a spare. We're going to fill this up. We're going to clean up that little blob that just fell on the counter. No, you saw that, right? And we're going to get it in the oven. So here we are. One of the recipes recommended putting a pan of water in the bottom. So this actually came in the same auction that this came from. So we'll keep the brothers together. Put that on the bottom shelf, in theory. And here's the little extra one. That'll be the one that we taste. Going in. And the main one. Now, these take quite a while to make. So I'm going to set this for an hour. And then we'll come back and see how it's doing. And eventually, we're going to try cake. All right. So, it took a full hour and 15 minutes. I lowered the oven to 300. But it smells phenomenal in this house. And here we go. There's the little guy already unboxed. And there's the big one. So let's start with the big one, which we're going to actually prepare for Christmas time. Yes, we're starting this in September because we need to give it plenty of time. So I'm just making some holes here to help things absorb. And then for that there absorbing material, I'm probably going to end up using a mixture of things. All of them bourbon, to be clear. But, firstly, this is a family brand, somewhere back in the annals of history. Yes, I said annals. Was a Mattingly in this distilling line. We're going to give that a good splash, just to start preserving it, let it soak in. And we're going to do that every week until Christmas. I've just learned that my lid's not going to fit, but you know, we worked with what we got. Now, let's cut into the other one and see how she goes. It is very crumbly, likely because of all the stuff in it, and the fact that it just came out of the oven when it really should mature. That's what they call it. But there's the inside. This is not your grandma's fruitcake. Already it's moist. Now, after it's been soaked in bourbon for the next 3 months, it'll be much more moist. But this is very moist. It doesn't have any of that awful citron taste. This is good. Soon we're going to do the dark fruitcake. We'll do a comparison at some point. Not going to update you on every feeding of this thing. There's the dishwasher. But this is good.